Hi everyone! Welcome back to the Community Kitchen with Waterfront Neighborhood Center. This week we're celebrating Caribbean cuisine, as in a normal year we would be coming up to the Caribana festival soon. Caribana, of course, in Toronto is best known for the music, the costumes, and the food. In today's Community Kitchen, I'm going to walk us through a short history of the Caribbean through its food, and then Zahide is going to show us how to make jerk chicken and rice and peas, which are classic dishes. So, let's get started. The area that we call the Caribbean includes all of the islands in the Caribbean Sea. This includes 31 distinct places, some their own independent countries, and some are extensions of European countries, or the US. For example, Puerto Rico and the US Virgin Islands are American territories. Guadeloupe, Martinique, Saint Martin, and Saint Barthélemy are territories of France. There are also many islands that are territories of the UK and the Netherlands. Many of the Caribbean islands have independence as nations, such as Jamaica, Cuba, the Dominican Republic, Haiti, Trinidad and Tobago, and the Bahamas. Interestingly, Guyana and Belize are often considered a part of the Caribbean, even though they're not islands, with Belize being on the Central American mainland, and with Guyana being on the South American continent. This is because these countries have a lot in common culturally and historically with the Caribbean islands, and they border the Caribbean Sea as well. The history of the Caribbean is very complex, but a few things are important to know when we're talking about Caribbean cuisine. When the Caribbean was colonized by Europeans, more than 3,500,000 slaves were brought from Africa to work in agriculture. Then, during the 1800s, when slavery was abolished in Britain, France, Spain, and the Netherlands, slaves in the colonies also became free. Instead, more free or very cheap labor was brought in through forced indentured labor of people from Asia, and especially from China and India. Unfortunately, even with the abolition of slavery, there was still forced labor being used to extract resources from the islands to benefit colonizers. Since then, many territories have become fully independent or have some autonomy apart from their original colonizing nation, often through uprising and protests. While this history is one of oppression and slavery, we can see the many influences of the different waves of people brought into the Caribbean through both culture and cuisine. Much of the food that we know and love from the Caribbean has influences from Africa, India, and China, but features ingredients that are from the islands and from Latin America. For example, food like roti are popular in both Indian and Caribbean cuisine, although they do of course have some differences. It's also important to note that there are also significant differences in food and culture between different Caribbean nations. So, with that background, we now have Zahide to demonstrate to us how to make jerk chicken and rice and peas.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Community Kitchen. As we know, due to COVID-19, we're not going to be able to enjoy the Caribbean Festival this year, but that doesn't mean we can enjoy some of the food, the great food that the islands have. And one of those would be jerk chicken. It's a very popular dish that we all tried and heard of, and we're going to try to make like a simple version of it today. We're using chicken thighs in this case, but obviously you could use any kind of meat, whatever your favorite. You could, if you prefer the breast, you could do the chicken breast, or the whole leg is also really good. Some make it with beef, some make it with goat meat, some any kind of like your favorite meat. Basically, you just marinate it with the jerk seasoning, and it will all taste great. As for the sauce, which is the most important thing here, jerk chicken is spicy, and it's also hot. So spice, due to the spice comes from the nutmeg, the allspice, cinnamon, cloves, and the heat will come from either the habaneros, or you could do Scotch bonnet. It's really has a strong heat to it, but it works really well with the jerk chicken. So in this bowl, if you follow the recipe, all the first 12 or 13 ingredients are in, we put them all together. So I have here the 4 spices I mentioned, the nutmeg, the allspice, the cinnamon, and the cloves, and also have the sauteed onion and garlic. We have some ginger. We have the habaneros here too. A little bit of soy sauce, as you see in the recipe, as well as a little bit of vinegar, which is also very good and adds a little bit of tartness to the plate. It's all mixed together. Some scallions, as you can see, some thyme, also paprika is in there. So, like I said, the first 12 or 13 actually ingredients in the recipe that you have are mixed in this bowl. So all we have to do is to cut the slits in the chicken. The reason for that is for the seasoning to penetrate better and give it better flavor. So we do that for all of it. Whether it's a chicken breast or anything, you just make slits in it, and it will help with flavor the chicken better and faster. So yeah, that would be it. And now we slather it with this beautiful sauce. Ideally, it would be marinated overnight, but if you don't have time, 30 minutes will be good enough, because the flavors are very strong, so it will get flavored really fast. But like I said, ideally, if you can marinate it overnight, would be great. So that's all we have to do here. It's because of the time restrictions, we have to prepare the sauce, but it's very easy. Like I said, follow the recipe. Just the only thing we have to do is the saute the garlic and the onion and the ginger first, and then we add all the rest of the ingredients. We marinate it now. We cover it and put it in the fridge for at least half an hour, or overnight preferably. And after that, we just put it in an oven. It's better to start it on high heat, so it will get the color and gets a little darker, 400, and then for 30 minutes, and then after we lower it to 350, 375. It's good. We cook it for another 30 minutes. We cover it and we cook it for the next 30 minutes. Make sure it's covered, and that's it. Should be tender and flavorful by then. So this goes in the oven now. We're gonna move into making the rice. So for the rice, we already started with the onion, the garlic, the ginger here, already been sauteed to help us move faster. So this is those first 3 ingredients were also in the sauce that we made for the chicken. So you could make it and for both, and then separate it. Take some for the dressing and keep some for the rice. So this would be, as I said, the ginger, minced onion, and minced garlic too. Sauteed in this way. Now to this, we're gonna add the rice. This is long grain white rice. It's the best thing to use for this recipe. If you prefer parboiled, basmati, whatever, obviously it will also work. But this is really very good for this recipe. It's been washed, which is also always the case. You should always wash your rice, and this has already been washed. So We add the rice now. Saute the rice a little bit with the mix them all together so flavor will go to all of the rice. Here are the spices that go well with it. We have the Cajun spice here, which is the best thing that gives the most of the flavor to this rice. We have the paprika and we have some thyme if you like to add some herbs to it. It also is a good idea. So those three spices go into the rice now. The Cajun spice is hot. If you like it spicier, you add some more. If you like it milder, you remove some of it. So it's up to you. It says to taste the recipe for that reason, because some people like their food spicier than others. Some people can't have it spicy. So it's up to you how much you wanna add from the Cajun spice. So as you can see, it not only gives it flavor, it gives it color too, which is really nice. The Caribbean is all about vibrancy and colors and flavor. They love flavored food to be very well flavored. And this is an example of that. Okay, so this is now the spices now are all over the rice. The last things that we had to do now, we can add the coconut milk, which is also a very nice addition to this rice. Gives it a lot of flavor, creaminess. It's really good. We have now the chicken broth that we can add. Broth, and the last thing to add would be the beans. Those are any kind of beans would work. It's called rice and peas, but it doesn't have any peas in it. It has beans in it. So I'm using today the kidney beans. You could use any kind of bean, pinto, white if you like, even any kind of black beans would work. Lentils if you like to add lentils instead is also will work too. So now we have all of this, like you see, in the bowl with a beautiful broth, very flavorful broth. Will add a lot of flavor. The coconut will add the flavor, the spices, and we have to let it boil. Once it comes to a boil, we lower it to a low and we cover it and let it cook for 10 minutes. You count the 10 minutes right after it's boiling very well, not before. Like it takes maybe another now 10 minutes for it to start boiling, but once it boils, you wait 10 minutes, you turn off the stove and you let it sit. If it sits there for like 5 to another 10 minutes, it will absorb all the flavors and it will become very nice and fluffy. So that's all about the rice. You could serve it with vegetables. I made some beans here and some carrots or broccoli, whatever you like, whatever your favorite vegetable is. You could make it part of the dish too. And that's how simple and easy it is. I hope you try it. It's really different and very, very flavorful. A little later, we're gonna show you the end results and you're gonna see it plated beautifully for you. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna plate some for you now. You could obviously just use the way we always serve our plates, which is just serving ourselves straight on the plate, or we're gonna do a little bit fancier by filling like a cup like this one. It's which also, like Sarah suggested, would be a good portion control for us, so we know exactly how much is a cup of rice and beans with beef. So this is packet like this. Just a little bit. You don't have to put too much pressure on it, so it stays fluffy. And then we go to the plate. We tilt it like this, and we get a nice little amount of rice and beans. And we put some of this beautiful chicken there. Let's take this upstairs. The sauce on it is will be a drumstick if you like. So that would be a nice full portion. Right. And also, like I said, your favorite kind of vegetable. In this case, we have carrots and beans, which is really colorful and also very nutritional, as a nutritional value. It's beautiful, colorful plate. So that would be it. This is our jerk chicken with rice and peas and your vegetable salad. This will be, like we said, our final plate. Thank you for watching us. I hope you enjoy it. Like we said, we can't enjoy the parade this year, unfortunately, but we can enjoy the food. So enjoy the food and let us know how you like it. Thank you for watching again. Bye.